Hi, everyone. I'm Eric Brennan, and I'm so excited to be back to shine a little more light and insight on this year's Kawiki Driver Development Program. And we're getting a chance to chat once again with Paul Andrews, chairman of the Voting Advisory Committee, board member, and 1992 championship winning crew chief for Alan Kawiki. Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Hi, Eric. It's going really good. How about you?
Really good. Really excited to see how this is all unfolding. I mean, we're early in the going, but as of right now, this is the tightest the points have been first to fifth across the board in the history of the driver development program. I'd say we're off to a good start, huh?
I think we are. It's going to be a great season. Really, we're excited to see how it all unfolds, of course. But the first segment is over with, and really excited with with the way that everything turned out, and especially with the points being so close. It's a pretty neat deal to watch for sure, and just excited to see how the rest of the season unfolds.
Now, when we last had a chance to touch base, we were just talking about the unveiling of the finalists for 2025, and the world has gotten to know a lot about the entire class. Seth Christensen, Noah Eisenhower, Derek Lechacki, Taylor Horn, Bryce Miller, just incredible talents across all five of the candidates right now. But internally for the program, we went from that really exciting time of notifying those drivers of the opportunity that's in their hands to now getting into the race portion of the program. How does the group shift from all that energy to kick off the year to now getting down to business and seeing how these drivers perform both on and off the racetrack?
That's exactly right. The party's over. You might say now you got to go out and show the results and get results, of course, and focus on your season and it's all the start of any season, no matter what it is when racing. And you always got to start off strong. You want to start off strong, and you want to start off where you're understanding the cars and just kind of continuing to build your program and that's what they're doing. They're doing a good job. Things are going good. Every series, starts off with rule changes along the way, so everybody's got to adapt to those things. But it's been really good to watch.
Now, this is the 10th year for the program, but there's a couple of new wrinkles to 2025's layout. And one that stood out to me right off the jump, wild cards. So essentially, drivers have a chance, each of them, five times to use a wild card throughout the season to earn double points in the Kawiki Cup standings, but they have to make it known publicly via social media at least 48 hours in advance. That seems to have added a lot of flair. And in my opinion, I was able to host one of the races with the Cars Tour when Seth Christensen was one of the first to use that. And that subplot and storyline was so fun to follow, knowing that there was more emphasis on that event for him specifically. Has that enticed the group and has it delivered in the way in which we all hoped that it would? Because it seems like it has, just as a casual viewer.
It has, and it's added more pressure to them on what do I pick here for my for my choice. So it was Derek used one right off the get go because he had won New Hampshire, for the last couple of years, and so he wanted to use one there. He ended up finishing second or maybe the third, but it's still he had a great race and a good run, and it added to his excitement for sure. So it's neat to see the excitement in them and the excitement that it brings to the program.
I love the fact that the drivers can essentially bet on themselves, thinking that they're going to have a really good weekend. And it just gives us all something to keep an extra eye on. Now, the other incentive
That's
for
exactly right.
2025, the other incentive we've got is the mentorship program. And it's not just the opportunity for each finalist to have a one on one relationship with people who are industry experts, but they all also happen to be members of the Kawiki Championship winning team that you led back in 1992. How is that, I would say, not only just imperative to help shape these drivers as they progress in their career, but also how does it tie back to the whole core meaning and value of the program itself?
Well, I think anytime you can get to talk to somebody who's been there and done that is a great opportunity, for a young person, a young driver, and like you said, every one of the mentors have either been in the sport or they were definitely a crew member of Allen's, and some of them are still in the sport. So it's really neat to see that. But everybody's got a different perspective, and that's what's so nice to see that. I think it brings a lot to the drivers, and gives them a different thought process, you might say, to build off of.
think it's fair to say that guidance may be one of the reasons why it's the tightest points battle that we've had up to this point in the program's history so far. Everyone just appears to be on top of their game. And that added incentive from having those mentors and that support group, Paul, that also, I think, carries a bit of an emotional toll as to what this program is all about and honoring Allen and his legacy. And I know that we've got some other interviews and clips that we're going to be rolling out here. And hats off to Casey Campbell and the whole team for putting that together. But I do love the fact that we've also gone through a lot of these drivers. Some of them weren't around even when Allen won that title back in 1992. In fact, I think we're at the point where none of them were around back in 92. Um, how important is it still to continue to galvanize Allen's legacy and what he was able to do with what he had and his way back when you were the championship winning crew chief for that team?
Everything was so different back then. I think it's so important to remember how we did things back then and how Allen won the championship. So it's a huge deal to keep his memory alive. We've really when we worked hard to help Allen get into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I think we realized just how big an impact he had then. And now to keep his memory alive with the program we have now, and like you said, the drivers now probably weren't even alive when he won the championship, was really neat. So keeping his memory alive and letting the whole public, the world know what he done. It was just an amazing feat. I don't think it's the way this sport is right now. I don't think it's possible to do that again. So it's really fun to see that. That memory stay alive and just to keep everything moving.
Just another layer behind the ultimate meaning of this program. And for everyone watching, you can in fact contribute to the program if you go to the Alan Kulwicki Driver Development website. There's a donation portal there. It's also your go-to source to keep up to date as to how the season is unfolding. And Paul, before we let you go, I want to touch base on the outgoing Kulwicki Cup champion, Ty Fredrickson, recently announced he's going to make his ARCA Menard Series debut with Venerini Motorsports at Elko. How much of a jolt of pride is that for everyone involved to see that not only one of your finalists, but also one of your champions is getting a chance to showcase the talents that was on display all year long in 2024 now to a national audience?
I think it's wonderful. Every time we see somebody in a truck series or any other NASCAR series, and to have Ty being the last year's champion was really neat. I'm excited for it. I wish I could be there to watch it in person. I know that, but I'm going to be glued to the TV to watch his results, and I'm excited for him. I think he can do a really good job. He's got a lot of talent, and just to see anybody that's been in the program to go forward and to move forward, to move up the ladder. Like obviously, Tom Majeski was the Truck Series champion, and just things like that is so impactful on us as a group. And it just means a lot to see those guys progress.
And I'm sure there's plenty more talent coming down the pike, including in 2025. We'll watch how the rest of the Kulwicki Cup will play out this year. Paul, as always, I appreciate the time to talk to you. I wish you all the best. Hope to talk to you soon, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the year goes.
Thanks a lot, Eric. It's good to talk to you. Looking forward to see you at the racetrack.
Thanks, Paul. Talk soon.
Okay.